Welcome to MacroCode. If you are new to this channel, consider subscribing. So in today's video, we are going to proceed with our help desk management system. So as you can see, we have our tickets list. So you can actually add a new ticket. So I'll just provide the ticket title, the ticket description, the status of the ticket, the priority, the person who is assigned to, and so this is actually the created by user. So we'll be able to see how this is actually logged based on the user is logged in. So if you click create, then our tickets is created. As you can see, we have the title, description, status, priority, created by, created on, comments, view, edit, and delete. Then we have our comments. So you can actually create comments based on the tickets. So you can do that, indicate the ticket, provide the details, and you can also save. So remember on our application, we were able to log in. So if I click login and I provide the username and password, I can log in. And you'll note that we have the hellotest1@gmail.com. So this is my user. So I want us to do some modifications to our code. So when we are creating the tickets, I want us to remove the created by and the created on. So I'm going to remove these two. So I'll remove the created by and the created on. Then on the comments, I want us to remove the created by and the created on as well. So what I want us to change is I want us to ensure that we are actually logging the user who is getting the user who is logged in. So if you go to our tickets and I create, so you can be able now to get the user who is logged in. Here, you can see this is our create action. So I'm going to say ticket. So let me try to zoom in so that you guys can see. Yeah, so that looks a bit better. So I'll say ticket. So this is my ticket. So this is it. So I'll take my model, then I'll say dot created on. Then I'll give it the date time. Then I'll just say now. So that is the created on. So what about the user? So the user, to get the created by, so I'll just say created by ID. So to get the user who is logged in, so we can actually do here. So I can get here user. So I'll say variable user ID equals to. So I can do, so my user ID will be user. Then I can say dot find first value using a claim. Then I can do claim type. So I'll do claim types, then dot name identifier. So if I do that, then I'll say here dot value. So I think this will give me the name. So I can just remove that. So if I do that, then I'll just do my user ID here will be my user ID. Then this will give me the user who is logged in. So we can do the same thing to our comments. So on the create method, we can also add the same thing. So I'll just do here. Then I'll now replace my comments. So this will be comments and this is comments. So this is created on datetime.now, then created by is now our user ID. So this is how you get the person who is logged in. So I'll say logged. So this is logged in user. So if we do that, let's now try to relaunch our app and see. So I'm going to relaunch. So when we create now a ticket or comments, it will automatically take the user who is actually logged in. So let's just wait and see. So for those who are watching this channel for the first time, or you are following this series, consider subscribing, like our video, comment down below. And in case you need the source code, you can also claim the source code. So using the link below. So I'll go to tickets. As you can see, if I add new, you'll be able to see that we don't have now the created by and the created on. So I'll just choose the priority. So if I click create, you will get that this is now giving us an error. Reason being, we are not logged in. So I need to click register, login. So if I now do tickets and add new, then I should be able to register these details without any challenge. So if I create, you can see this is my details now, and it is taking the created by, and we also have the created on. So if I add a new one, I can add a new one. So I'll just do that. Provide these details as well. These details. So if I click, so you can also see. So the same thing to comments. We can also do add new comment. So I'll be providing some just sample details, and I can log into our. So you can see it is also giving us the created by. So assuming we want to see the list of users here, and we can also hide these tickets so that whenever we prevent users from creating the tickets and they have not logged in. So I'll go to our layout. So I'm going to remove my tickets here. Then I'm going to have it on my partial. So my login partial, you can see here. So we have here. So I'm going to have it here. So this will now display this list of tickets only whenever we are logged in. So if I refresh my app, or let me relaunch our app so that you see what we mean. So I want to only display the tickets whenever we are logged in. So I've done it under the login partial, and I have added my list there. So you can see it is checking whenever the user is signed in. So if we launch the app, you'll notice that our tickets are not being displayed here. And you can see you cannot see them. So the reason behind that is we need to log in. So if I click login, sign in, I'll be able to access now my tickets. You can see I have them on this other end. So if I click tickets, then I should be able to see them. Comments, I should be able to see them. So the next thing that I want us to do is I want us to display the list of users here. So I want us to create a controller. So I want us to create a controller here. So I'll just do new controller. So let me stop my app. So I want us to do new controller. Then I want us to call it users. So just create new controllers. Then I want us to call this user. So I'll call it users. So then if I create that controller, I'm also going to create a folder here called users. So I'm going to create a folder here called users. So users. So once we have that users, so I'm going to create an index eraser page. So an empty one. So I'm going to create the index. So then I want us to do something with our controller. So on this users controller, I want us to create our constructor. So I'll do CTO, then tab. So we'll have our constructor there. Then I want us to also have, so I'll just have my, so I'll have my user manager. Then this will be tied to our application user. So you see this application user, then user, we have a role manager, identity role, then sign in manager, we have our application user, and then we have our application DB context. So the same thing, you'll be able to map them to our users controller. So you need to add application user DB context, then user manager. So let me just do this so that you see. So you have the user manager, we have the role manager, then you have the application user. All those needs to be assigned. So all those needs to be assigned inside the constructor. So I'm going to assign them here. So you can see I have the role manager, assign in manager, user manager, and the context. So the next thing that I want us to do is on our index, we can now get the list of users. So I'll just do variable users, then I'll do is equals to, then you can do await, then you can say context. So here we should be underscore context. So just do that, then say users, then do to list async. So this will give me the list of all the users who are actually registered in the system. So then we can actually return on our view, we can return these users. So you can see we have an error here. So what we need to do here is we just need to have this as a task. So I'll just do task, then I can do that. So once we have that, then that is cool. So the next thing is to display those, that is the list of users to our application. So I'm going to have the data table. So let me just copy for the tickets. So I'm going to copy this data table. Let's just borrow all of this. Go to our users. Then I'm going to paste it here. But now, for the users, I'm going to have these as a application user. There we go. Then you can say add new user. So you can actually add new user. So the next thing here, we can say first name. You can do here as this is first name. You can do middle name. You can also do last name. Last name, we can do phone number. Then we can also do email. You can also do created. Do you have created on? You can do, so let's just check the fields that you added on our application user. Then we can do gender, yes. So let's do here gender. Then we can remove all of this, or we can just remove two of them. We leave the edit. Then here you can now do first name. You can do middle name. Then you can do, actually, instead of first, yes, we can leave it just first name. I wanted to replace it with the full name. So you can do last name. Then here we can have phone number. You can do phone number. Then we can also have email. You can do email. Then we can also have gender. So I'll do here gender. So then we have our buttons. So I'm going to remove one of the button. I think there are two of them. So we just leave the edit and delete. So since we have that, we now have, these will be our users list. So the next thing is on our layout. So I'm going to our layout, shared layout, login partial. Then I can add the list. Now the link to our users controller. So here I'll call, our controller will be users. So I'm going to rename that. So this should be controller users. Then you can have this as index, then these will be users. So since we have that, then if I launch the app, we should now able to access our users who are actually registered within our application. So if you're new to this channel and you like our videos, subscribe. If you're watching these videos and you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. We noticed 90% of you guys are watching our videos and you have not subscribed. If you're one of them, please consider subscribing so that you push us to do more of this series. So as you can see, you have our tickets. You can now click tickets. You can access them. Then comments. You can see the comments. Then we have now the users. So you can see we now have the users. We can access our users list. And you can see you have the ID, the first name, middle name, last name, phone number, email address, gender, and you can edit that. So what happens if we want to add a new user? So we can actually register a new user. So I want us to create another Reza page. So to add a new or to create a new user. So I want us to come to create. Then I'm going to do here. So I'm going to do here new Reza view, then add. Then I'm going to call that create. So this is my create page. So I can borrow what we have on our tickets. So I'm going to copy that, then we are going to amend. Then if I do that, I can now change this to our application user. So that is the easiest way to do it. Then you can say this is a user. So we can actually remove one of these. So on our create user, we now need our first name. So I'm going to provide their first name. We also need our middle name. So I'm going to provide middle name here, middle name. Then we also need our last name. So I'm going to have the last name there. We also need our gender. So I'm going to have here gender. So you're going to have gender. Then you also have, we can also do email. So I'm going to do here email. So this email, then I'm also going to do phone number. So we can do phone number. Then I'm also going to do, for the phone number, I'm also going to do username. So username. Then I'm also going to do, so if we do username, I'm also going to do what other thing? So we can actually check. So we need the password actually, yes, when you're creating the user. But now, for this case, we'll just provide the password. But remember, this can be auto-generated. So we can always, so we can do pass. So we need to actually check that. So we need the password here. So for the password, we need to, so I don't know if we have that particular field. So we need to do password. We need to do your password. This is password. So I don't know if we have that particular field. So if we do password, so what is the issue here? So we'll need to do something so that our password is seen. So what we need to do is we need to have, so I'll just do password. Don't know if this is the correct. So if we check on our model, we need to ensure that so yes. So what I want us to do, you see this password. I don't want us to have the field and application user as the password here because identity already has the password. So let me see which kind of property is there that you can reuse. You have email confirm, security, phone number. Do you have anything called password? So we can actually have these as a string. So let's just call it password hash. So let's call it password hash. But now, then the next thing that you need to have, let's confirm on our application user. We have the first name, last name, gender. We need the country and the city. So we are going to add those fields here. So I'm going to add them here. So we need the country and the city. So this is how you are now creating a user. Actually, we had created this form. We could have borrowed the details from the register page. So this is a country. Do here country. Yes, I think we had done this. So if I'm not wrong, if you go to areas, identity, then register, we had done this. You can see we have our city, country, yes, gender, all this. But this is now using our identity. But assuming we need a controller, so that is how we are going to do it. So we have the city and the country. So the next thing that we need to do now is to create our action. That is our action to actually save these. So one thing is we need to go to our users. Then we have this create. So that is cool. Then we have the create. So here I'm going to have these as an application user. Then I'm going to call this user. So once I have that, I want us to now do something. Here on our create index, I want us to do variable user. We can get the user who is logged in. So we'll say user dot find first value. Then you can say claim types. So this is claim types dot name identifier. Then that is cool. So you already have our user ID. So this will be user ID. So we need to construct our user. So I'll just do application. So this is our application user. So this is our application user. So what I want us to do, I want us to say user. So we'll just do application user. I can say registered user equals to, can do new. So I want us to now append details here. So I'll just do dot first name. So dot first name, this could be any other model. That's the reason I don't want to use it. So you can actually, we can always change that to view model or something else. So I want now to assign values, and you can actually use something called automapper to actually do this. For those who are well versed with this, you can always do that. But for the beginners, because these are not more, you can always map it. So then I can do middle name, Then you can also do last name. So you can also do last name. Then here I can do so we have the first name, username, last name, middle name. Then we can do normalized username. So normalized username will be our username. So will be our username. Then I also want our email. So our email will be our email. Then we also want so we can say email confirmed. We should have confirmed this. So we can always have this as true. Then we can have our gender. This is gender. Then we can also have, so this is gender. So I'm also going to have city. Sorry. So this is city. Then I'm going to have this as city. Then I also want to have, so I can do here, country. Then I can do here country. So what other thing do I need? So we've done, so let's confirm. We've done the first name, middle name, last name, country, gender, city. I think that is it. So on our users, so we've mapped everything here. So the next thing that I want us to do is we can do variable result. We need now to save this. So we'll say await. So we can do user manager. So user manager, then you can say create async. So the reason as to why that is not working is because this needs to be user manager something. Yes. Then here we can do that. Then we'll say registered user. So here we'll say registered user, and hope this is a bit is visible for you guys. Hope so. So then we can do, so we'll do user dot password. We need to supply our password there. So once we have that, so our user will now be created. So here, once this user is created, I'll do if. So I'll just say result is succeeded. Then what do I need to do? I need to redirect this guy now to our index page. So I'll just do return redirect to index. So that is it. So, and that's cool. So here, the reason as to why you have this, we need to have this as a task. So I'll do their task, and we should be able now to test our application. So let's confirm if everything is okay. So this one, it says not all paths return a value. So you can do return there, return. So this is not the case. So we'll do here. So we can do here exception X. So then we can say here this is return else. So we'll say else here. So we need an else here so that it works. So we can also always return the view here. So if I do return view, then our error will go. So if we launch our app, we should now be able to create the user. So let's just confirm if that is okay. So I don't know if we had the created by in the user section, but let's just proceed and see. So if we launch the app login, then let's confirm the. So there we go. So if we go to users, so that is our page. So we should now be able to add a new user. Let me see if I can zoom it. Yes. So if we add new, so you can see I have my user form. So I can say this is James. So I'll do here Dan Mwangi Opio. Can say email. Can say Mwangi at gmail.com. Then I can do here 07 14 98 87 89. Then I can do here Kitale. Can do here Kenya. Then username, I can have this as my username. Then password, I can provide my password. So if I do that, so here, so you can see this is actually showing some information. So you can do 2031. So here we'll check this. So if I click create, you'll notice that our user is created. So you can see the ID, the first name, last name, phone number. So why don't we have the phone number? Did we save the phone number? So we missed it. So you can see, and it is actually a string. So that's why it allowed. So you can also always do here phone number. Then you can do here phone number. So if we do that, we can now go back and try to add a new user. So if you're new to this channel, you like the video, you are following this series, comment down below, subscribe and share. So you can also request for the source code. If you need the source code, you can always get the source code using the link below. Just check on the description below, you'll be able to find the link. So let me add a new user. So I'm going to say this is Maruti Duncan. Kimani. Then you can say here female. It's weird. So you can say Dan. You can say here Dan. It's weird that Daniel can be, so the name can be female. So I'm just kidding, guys. So then here you can have Nairobi. Then here I can do Kenya. Then you can say my email address is this, and you can do the same password. So you can now see that I have my Maruti Duncan Kimani with my phone number, then email, and the guy is female. So very weird. So that is it for this video. So I want us to leave it there for today. So if you're new to this channel and you're following this series, subscribe, like, and share. See you in our next video. Bye.